What's up everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Aljamain Sterling shared his honest reaction to Merab Dvalishvili's fight against Petr Yan, admitting that in real time he initially believed Merab had done enough to win 3-2. According to Sterling, the first 3 rounds felt extremely close, but from his perspective, Merab had edged them out with slightly better activity and pressure. He acknowledged that round 4 clearly belonged to Yan, and as the 5th round progressed, he could see Yan starting to take control with sharper striking and better timing. Based on that, Sterling assumed the fight would be scored 3-2 in Merab's favor. However, when the official scorecards were announced, the judges had it 4-1 and 3-2 for Yan. Sterling was not overly upset with the 3-2 scorecard because of how competitive the fight was, but the 4-1 margin surprised him. He admitted that such a wide score made him wonder if he had been watching the same fight as the judges, especially since he personally had it much closer. Sterling emphasized that it was a tight, highly technical matchup from start to finish. While he believes Merab didn't look fully like himself that night, he also made sure to give full credit to Petr Yan for his improvements, composure, and effective adjustments throughout the fight. Sterling praised Yan's ability to neutralize some of Merab's usual strengths and push the pace late. He highlighted that despite Merab's strong start, Yan's resilience and tactical responses were major factors in swinging the momentum. In the aftermath, Petr Yan has begun trolling Merab online, capitalizing on the close decision and creating extra buzz around a potential rematch. Sterling noted that competitive fights like this naturally spark debate, but ultimately both fighters delivered a high-level performance that showcased their skills and determination. Now, before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Petr Yan wasted no time mocking Merab Dvalishvili on social media after defeating him over the weekend and reclaiming the bantamweight spotlight. Following his victory at UFC 323, Yan began trolling Merab by referencing one of the more unusual moments from the pre-fight build-up. During the UFC 323 pre-fight press conference, Merab playfully invited Petr Yan to join him in his jacuzzi after the fight. It was meant as lighthearted banter, but the exchange quickly went viral. Merab said, "Hey, you are welcome in my jacuzzi. You want to come to the jacuzzi after?" Yan immediately fired back by teasing Merab about never being seen with women. He joked, "All you've got is boys. I haven't even seen you with a girl before at all." After the fight, Yan capitalized on the moment with a perfectly timed jab on social media. He posted a photoshopped picture on X showing himself sitting in a jacuzzi surrounded by multiple women, while Merab appeared in the background, serving them drinks like a waiter. The caption read, "Relaxing after the fight," making it clear that Yan was poking fun at Merab's pre-fight invitation. The post quickly gained traction online, with fans reacting to Yan's unexpected humor and trolling. While the rivalry between the two has always been intense, this playful exchange added a new layer of entertainment to their ongoing feud. Yan's post suggested that he not only won the fight, but also won the trash talk battle, at least in the eyes of social media. Despite the banter, both fighters continue to earn respect for their performances and competitiveness inside the octagon. But for now, Yan's post-fight mockery has become one of the most talked about moments following UFC 323, keeping fans buzzing about the potential for future clashes between the two. Move on to another news. Khamzat Chimaev recently sat down with Brett Okamoto for an interview and didn't hold back when discussing Alex Pereira. Chimaev made it clear that he believes a fight between them would be massive for both men, yet he also feels Pereira has no real interest in accepting the challenge. According to Chimaev, everyone understands the matchup is exciting, but he thinks Pereira is avoiding him because of the stylistic danger he presents. Chimaev reacted to Pereira's comments about grappling and jiu-jitsu, stating that Pereira pretends to be willing to train in grappling exchanges, yet dismisses the true importance of MMA skill sets. Khamzat emphasized that this isn't about grappling competitions. It's about real fighting inside the UFC. He claimed Pereira once accepted the idea of fighting him but later shifted his narrative, suggesting that fighting Chimaev isn't a good matchup. Chimaev laughed off Pereira's comments about fame, saying Pereira believes Khamzat uses his name for clout. According to Chimaev, if he simply says hi on Instagram, he generates more views than Pereira gets for his entire fight. He insisted Pereira is not more famous and has no edge in popularity or momentum. However, Chimaev did give Pereira credit where it was due. He acknowledged that Pereira is an elite striker with knockout power and world-class technique, and he respects that aspect of his game. But Chimaev firmly stated that in an MMA fight, almost everyone understands who would win if they met in his weight class. He mentioned that regardless of who the contenders are, whether it's Dricus du Plessis, Sean Strickland, or anyone else, he believes he dominates them all. To Chimaev, the outcome is obvious to 99% of fans who follow the sport closely. Chimaev also spoke about his future plans, revealing that he intends to fight one more time at middleweight before officially moving up to light heavyweight. He sees big opportunities, big checks, and exciting matchups at 205 pounds. His focus is to get one more fight done at 185, then make the jump to the next division. He repeated that only one more fight remains before he begins the next chapter of his career at light heavyweight. Move on to another news. Alex Pereira has made it clear that his ambitions extend far beyond the light heavyweight division. Fresh off another dominant performance, Pereira revealed that he wants his next fight to take place in the heavyweight division, either for the UFC heavyweight title or in a historic matchup against Jon Jones. Pereira explained that competing at heavyweight has been on his mind for some time, and he believes he's already proven that he can climb weight classes and win championship gold. Pereira stated that he has openly discussed his interest in making the move, even mentioning the possibility of fighting Jon Jones, who is widely considered one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. According to Pereira, a fight against Jones would be a monumental moment, not only for him but for the entire sport. He also addressed the idea of becoming a three-division UFC champion, something no fighter has ever achieved. Winning a heavyweight title would solidify him as one of the greatest fighters in history and add another layer to his already remarkable career. Still, Pereira emphasized that while he has strong ambitions, he understands that much of the decision-making is out of his hands. He said he can express his desires, but ultimately the UFC will determine when and where his next fight takes place. I have my goals and my dreams, he explained, but I'm also waiting just like everyone else. It's not something I can control. Pereira made it clear that he is willing and ready, but the timing, opponent, and division will depend on the UFC's plans. As Pereira's comments began circulating online, fans and analysts reacted quickly. One of the most notable responses came from Sean O'Malley, who posted his live reaction to Pereira's heavyweight ambitions. O'Malley, like many others in the MMA community, was stunned but excited by the possibility of Pereira stepping into the heavyweight division. The idea of a showdown between Pereira and Jon Jones, two elite strikers with championship pedigrees, instantly became a major talking point across social media. Pereira's confidence, paired with his proven ability to move between divisions successfully, has only increased speculation about what could be next for him. Whether it's a shot at the heavyweight belt or a super fight with Jones, Pereira has positioned himself as one of the most versatile and dangerous fighters in the sport. Fans now wait to see if the UFC will make his bold ambitions a reality. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley shared his live, unfiltered reaction as he watched Petr Yan defeat Yan-Merab Dvalishvili, and his commentary captured the intensity of every moment. As round one began, O'Malley immediately felt the momentum shifting. He noted how wild the exchanges were getting, before reacting to a clean shot from Yan, who cracked Yan-Merab with a sharp right hand straight down the middle. O'Malley scored the opening round for Yan, impressed by his timing and composure. As the fight progressed, O'Malley continued to be amazed. He pointed out Yan's strong leg kicks and then reacted in surprise when Petr Yan shot for a double leg takedown, putting Yan-Merab on his back. To him, this showed Yan's versatility and confidence. Moments later, Yan landed a massive right hand that stunned the commentary. With just seconds left in round two, O'Malley had it clearly 2-0 for Yan. The action escalated in round three. O'Malley nearly shouted as Yan kicked Yan-Merab off balance and slammed him down violently. He kept repeating how good Yan looked at every exchange. When Yan landed a powerful body kick to the midsection, O'Malley joked that he had done the same thing before, laughing that if Yan finished Yan-Merab with a body shot, he'd take partial credit. O'Malley believed it was turning into a dominant performance, possibly 3-0 for Yan. He reacted again when Yan cracked Yan-Merab on the top of his head, wobbling him badly. Seeing Yan-Merab stagger, O'Malley thought a finish might be seconds away. Then came a brutal liver shot, forcing Yan-Merab to wince and backpedal. According to O'Malley, Yan-Merab absolutely needed a finish as the fight approached the final round. By the fourth round, O'Malley had it 4-0 for Yan. He watched Yan-Merab bouncing around in pain after another clean liver shot and even yelled as Yan-Merab cried out while trying to recover. Yan then shot once again, securing another takedown just to solidify the round. With 10 seconds left in front of UFC executive Hunter Campbell, O'Malley joked that he needed to text him immediately. When the fight ended, O'Malley praised Yan's performance as one of the most impressive he had ever seen. He even said that if the judges somehow gave the fight to Merab, he would quit fighting altogether. But once the scores were read, O'Malley celebrated Yan getting the decisive win. He wrapped up by tagging future contender Song Yadong and telling him, "You're out. Petr, you're next." Move on to another news. Donald Trump has revealed bold new details about the upcoming UFC event planned for the White House grounds, stating that the card is expected to feature an unprecedented 8 to 9 championship fights. Speaking enthusiastically about the event, Trump emphasized that UFC is preparing something unlike anything the sport has ever seen. According to him, the card scheduled for June 14 next year will be one of the biggest spectacles in UFC history. Trump explained that Dana White is overseeing the construction of a special arena on the White House grounds specifically for the event. He described White as the great Dana White, noting that he has been strategically holding back major fights for nearly 6 months to ensure UFC 250, the event planned for the White House, becomes the most stacked card ever assembled. Trump claimed that every bout on the card will be a championship-level fight, featuring legendary type of fights from top to bottom. He also shared logistical details, saying the newly built arena will hold around 5,000 to 6,000 fans and will be positioned directly in front of the White House entrance. Beyond that, Trump said the event will accommodate a massive outdoor audience, with an estimated 100,000 fans gathered behind the arena area. Large screens, possibly 8 to 10, will be set up to ensure everyone in the crowd can watch the fights live. Trump described the atmosphere as one that will be electric, emphasizing how historic and unprecedented the night will be. He noted that demand for tickets has already exploded, with countless people reaching out in hopes of securing a spot at what he believes will be one of the most iconic events in sports entertainment history. According to Trump, UFC 250 at the White House is shaping up not only to be a major sporting event but also a global spectacle that merges combat sports with political and cultural significance. With Dana White planning to bring out the biggest names and most anticipated matchups, the June 14 card is poised to set new standards for UFC events, both in scale and star power. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall shared his thoughts on who deserves to be recognized as the fighter of the year for 2025, and according to him, the answer is clear: Ilia Topuria. When asked from a UFC perspective who stood out the most this year and why, Aspinall didn't hesitate. He explained that Topuria has consistently impressed him with his skill, confidence, and ability to evolve with every performance. In his view, Ilia is not only remarkable right now, but he has many more years ahead where he is likely to continue dominating the sport. Aspinall emphasized that Topuria's all-around ability makes him special. His striking, timing, and composure are all on another level, and his performances throughout the year have proven that he is one of the sport's most elite talents. Aspinall described Topuria as unbelievable, praising the way he continues to elevate his game against top-tier competitors. When the discussion shifted to the best knockout of the year, Aspinall again pointed to Topuria. He admitted that he might be a bit biased, largely because the moments that stand out most to him are from events he personally attended. But even with that bias acknowledged, he said there was no denying the brilliance of Topuria's knockout over Charles Oliveira. According to Aspinall, witnessing that finish live was one of the most unforgettable experiences he has had inside an arena. He described the atmosphere that night as electric, a combination of suspense, excitement, and the raw energy of thousands of fans. The knockout itself, he said, was executed with precision and confidence, making it one of the most impressive finishes he ever seen in person. For Aspinall, that fight alone highlighted Topuria's growth and cemented his status as one of the premier fighters of 2025. With dominant performances, highlight reel moments, and undeniable star power, Aspinall believes Ilia Topuria not only defined 2025, but set a standard for what it means to be fighter of the year. Move on to another news. Robert Whittaker shared high praise for Petr Yan after his incredible performance at UFC 323, saying he was genuinely impressed by how sharp and complete Yan looked inside the octagon. According to Whittaker, this was the most refined and elevated version of Petr Yan that fans have seen in years, a version that closely resembled the fighter he was in 2021 before the illegal knee incident that cost him the title against Aljamain Sterling. Whittaker explained that the fight unfolded almost exactly how it would look if someone scripted it on paper, which he noted is extremely rare because MMA fights almost never go perfectly according to expectation. But on this night, Yan displayed a level of technical purity, composure, and skill that Whittaker hadn't seen from him since his championship run. He highlighted how Yan seemed to have an answer for every situation, whether it was wrestling exchanges, jiu-jitsu scrambles, or kickboxing sequences. Yan showcased elite ability across all areas. Most importantly, Whittaker emphasized how beautifully Yan blended everything together, striking into takedowns, pressure into counters, defense into offense. It was a complete, seamless performance. Whittaker pointed out that Yan didn't slow down for even a second. He dictated the pace, refused to give up positions, and Yan took Yan-Merab down convincingly. Something few fighters have been able to do. He brought the fight to Yan-Merab from start to finish, and executed a clinical dismantling of one of the division's toughest fighters. In Whittaker's opinion, this was the most advanced, fully leveled version of Petr Yan that the division has ever witnessed. He believes that the Yan who fought that night would be extremely difficult for anyone in the bantamweight division to defeat. The skill level, timing, IQ, and confidence were operating far above the rest of the field. Whittaker also admitted that watching round 3, he kept thinking how impossibly close, competitive the exchanges were, making it nearly impossible for judges to score. But when relying on feel, momentum, and the overall control of the fight, it seemed clear to him that Yan was dictating the action. Yan appeared calm, calculated, and consistently landing the shots that were visibly affecting Yan-Merab.